Okay, I didn't get the 3, 2, 1 thing again. It's always get nervous if this is actually working. All right. I don't care what it says all up in there. I'm not saying anything bad about the notes. I'm just going to do what I do. All right. When we're solving an equation. Now that's different. Okay. And I think do they have this up here? This is the notes, right? I didn't do the homework on accident, did I? Yeah. That's the notes. Because then the homework has weird questions about, 1, 2, and 3 are a little bit different. You just have to look at them and read it. But what people miss, and the reason the homework has what it has is, nothing had an equal sign up to this point, right? So those directions were simplified. So you simplify, but then when you have an equation, you solve. So solving is different than simplifying, which requires a different process. So this process is quite unique. If you apply this process to anything we've done before, you're doomed. Because this is really based off of this simple concept. And this concept is requiring an equal sign. So with an equal sign, whatever you do to one side, say it. You do the everyone knows that. But that's because you have an equal sign. Nothing else have an equal sign. So if you do what I do here today to previous stuff, you're going to destroy your questions. So I can do whatever I want. I have all the power in the world. All right, to do whatever I want as long as I do it to both sides of this equal sign. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at these denominators and I'm going to find the least common denominator. That's what I'm going to do first. And hopefully that's what the wording says up there. This is the most direct way and easiest way to solve these equations. It really is. And what is that LCD? Everyone, it is 2x and then what? These are different. The ability to see that these are different. 2x is one of the denominators, which has nothing in common with x plus 1, a binomial. So this x is not the same as this x. You don't just say 2x and then plus 1 or something like that. Some people come up with some goofy stuff. And then what do? Whatever I do to one side, say it. Now this first one, I'm going to do it the long way. And then I'm never writing it like this again. So the long way of writing this is I take 2x times x plus 1. And when you have a test that's written, you do want to maximize your, you don't want to have to rewrite this. So I'm going to stick these on both sides. And now what I've done is I've multiplied this side and this side by 2x times x plus 1. By the way, that's over, what is the denominator of this? What's the denominator of this expression? No, it's 1. All right. Sorry, a stunned pause there. No, it's just 1. Why? Because when I distribute this on this side, then where does this go? I just told you. Does it go in the numerator or denominator? Where does the 2x times x plus 1? I just showed you the arrow. Numerator. To multiply fractions, let's do this. Let's write the original in black so we could really have this like the typing there. And then I'm going to write this. I'm just going to get the black pen out of the way here. And then even in the homework, I kind of redistributed your questions. I took the file that was in Word and I gave you space. Look at the homework, turn it over. Maybe not on all of them, but don't some of them have a little extra space in them? Yeah, maybe I didn't hit them all though. Now that I think about it, I think I kind of focused on just a couple of them. Because what I'm looking for you to have space for is to put that 2x times x plus 1 in the numerator. That's why I asked you, what is this over? It's over 1. So the thing that my regulars can't handle is, well, we don't even do this concept, unfortunately, with the regulars. But when you multiply a fraction, do you take numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator? Okay, so I have a times 1 down here. That isn't really needed, though. I'm just doing this for teaching purposes. Okay, and then I have to take that 2x times x plus 1 and multiply it by this because I have to distribute it to this side. Okay, fine, I'll write it like this, over 1. So you need to understand that this is happening, though. I am never writing this long again. Why? We're in honors, and we should be able to handle a little bit of speed in doing stuff. And then this is the whole reason why you did this. Cancel, cancel, cancel. And then what happens to the fractions? They're what? Gone is correct. And then what you end up having is 6x squared minus 5 times x plus 1 equals 3 times x plus 1. And now you got it into this is a math 2 equation now. One step, and now you're in math 2. And actually, you were in the beginning of the year as well. We solved quadratics to start off this little shindig. All right, and then this is 3x plus 3. I hope I don't make any mistakes. Subtract 3x, subtract 3, right? Everyone okay with the math I've done so far? After that portion. Then I'll show you how you can do this faster. What should I also do before I factor? Anyone? What should I do before I factor this? GCF, because that makes factoring easy. Then what can I do with that too? Honestly, in equation solving, what can I do? What can I do with this? No one knows? Does that create an answer? No, the 2. Well, 2 is 1 times 2. I don't know. That's factor form of 2. I can get, anyone? Rid of it. I can divide both sides. Now, be careful. If that's an x, then x equals 0 is one of the answers, right? I forgot to do something. Darn it. Okay, so I got to remember about extraneous solution possibilities. All right, and then does anything, yes, multiply to 12. Did I do something wrong? Oh, it should be minus 4. I did. Do have a hand. I just see if people are paying attention. All right. Does anything multiply to negative 12 and add to negative 4? Just to answer yes or no. What was that? Making comments over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is factor. But you know what? Then that means it's got to be 3x and 1x. I'm not doing that long. Nope. It's got to be 3x and 1x. And then I do feel good about 2 times 2, and one of them being negative. So which one's negative, the first 2 or the second 2? Second one, because you got a negative middle term, and that gives you negative 6x and positive 2x. Good foilers, say it. Good factors. Okay, and this is what you really got to worry about. Equals 0. Is this? Okay, good. A lot of space. I don't think you have as much space in the homework, so, I didn't want to. Originally, I did save trees again. The homework was 2 pages long, and I just shuffled it into one. And I just wanted to save paper. Saving paper, right? Trying to do that all year long. Now, here's what I should have checked. Let's look up here. Let's look at the beginning. Be sure to check that your solution set does not contain an extraneous solution. What you should put up here is restrictions. What are my restrictions? What can't x equal? And that's what I'm going to put here. X cannot equal. Just look at the black and ignore all the red. What couldn't x equal? Well, it couldn't equal what? If this x equaled this, then this would be undefined. 0. And then x also couldn't equal negative 1. Those are domain issues. So x could not equal 0 or negative 1. Are any of those solutions 0 or negative 1? No. So you don't have to check them. Believe me, you probably don't have time to. But if you are fast with tests, you could go ahead and check those answers real quick. I forget if we're allowing a graphing calculator or not. That'd be the only reason you might use a graphing calculator. You could type that expression in and then plug in a value for it. Do you want me to show you how to check if one person raises their hand? They don't care. Okay. All right. So that's fine. Okay. All right. So now that's why I'm done doing that. Watch what I do. Watch, this is what you should do as an efficient, listening, functioning student. I do have some ABers that are that. Not enough! Anyway, thanks for listening. You always have to be my, what do I call you? My psychologists or psychiatrists? Psychologist, which one's right? Psychiatrist just listens, right? Thank you for listening. Okay, we just had a test yesterday. I had to grade them. I had to go through that process. Did I talk about that yesterday? Okay, what's the LCD? By the way, 5 over, 5 over, 5 over, 1. What's the LCD? I think we could think about it. What is it? And you should put it in terms of factored form. And this is what you should be able to do as a functioning, listening, caring students. Okay? I get all this. I understand what Mr. Samuels just went through. I understand that multiplying fractions, you multiply the numerator, multiply. I understand how this destroyed the denominators and got rid of the fractions. And then I understand distribution. So if I'm going to multiply both sides by x plus 1, x minus 1, then every numerator gets an x plus 1, x minus 1. And even if I have to write it slanted like this, I'm still a functioning, understanding students, an efficient student that can handle this. The problem is 5 also has, because of distribution. We understand distribution. We understand I multiply both sides by the LCD. So every part has to be multiplied by this. And then this one, fine, x plus 1, x minus 1. These completely cancel, and I'm left with 6. That was fun, right? Now, the only one that's not fun is the middle, so I'm going to hold off on that one. Those cancel. I can handle that. 7 times x plus 1. But then I don't have a lot. You know what? I got to be a cowboy, baby. Anyone know that song? Anyway, 5 times. Oh, was he canceled? No, Kid Rock's still okay. You got to be careful of those references now. Everyone's getting canceled. And, if I reference that, he's evil. All right. Anyway, it's the world we live in. Let's try to get everyone canceled. So then I feel better about myself. Some people are evil, though. Hollywood. Anyway. Disney. What? What? Okay, now I like a positive middle term. Am I doing okay so far? I mean, not emotionally. I'm just talking about mathematically. What? All right. And then 7 plus 5 is 12. And then 12 minus 6 is 6. Am I doing okay? I think that's right. Everything balanced? I literally just did this last on the first question, and I told you should do this first. What did I say we should do first? What can't x equal? Restrictions. Because I'm about ready to get solutions, and I may get a bad solution. What can't x equal? X cannot equal what? 1 and -1. So I got to be careful I don't get those answers. If I do, I got to cross them off. This happens sometimes. But you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to multiply by a negative, right? Right? Is this factorable? Yeah, so it multiplies to -30 and adds to -7, 3 and -10 or 10. And I don't care which one's which. So, but you know what? The factoring is easy because I have 5x squared. So it could only be 5x and 1x. And then is it, yeah, I think it'd have to be 2 and 3, right? Where does the 2 go? Second or first? Second, because I need 5 times 2 is 10. I hope those that came in being a struggling factor are getting it now. All right. We won't talk about. I'm done talking about them. Okay, right? -10x plus 3x is that -7x in black there. And then you know what? These answers are not. Are you sure you don't want me to show you on the graphing calculator how you can check these real quick? You raised your hand. She just moved her hand. Oh, I thought you were. Are you sure? Okay. I think it's a mistake, but that's okay. Do you want George? George. Oh, and then someone just said this. George, we're going to help you here. You know, George, I really think we should anyway. Oh, someone just crinkled their water bottle like that. I know who it is. Oh, you don't have a water bottle today. George, it's really not going to take that long, so I don't know what they're complaining about. You ready? Okay, here we go. See how the calculator takes 5 hours to open? It's fun. You know, I just can't sometimes. I really can't. Okay, here's how you do it. Watch. -3/5. Second quit. -3 divided by 5. You ready? Store that in for x. Enter. So it's stored. Got it? And now I just type that expression. But you know what? I'm not even going to use fractions. I'm going to pretend to have an old school calculator. And then x minus 1 close. That's 7 over x minus 1 minus 5. Press enter. When I press enter, though, x is stored as negative 0.6. That's weird. Negative 9.375. What does that tell me? I got to check. On the right side, do I get the same output value? And if I do, that's what solving is. This is why I said we probably should do this. So everyone should be thanking good old George for saying that we want to do this, because then when I put, what should I get when I type this in? I should get negative 9.375. And now all you have to do is change the store to 2. To store x, enter, and then just go ahead and grab those last two, and you can do this on your calculator. Grab those last two expressions, press enter, enter. Weird too. And then I don't need to do that. What's 2 squared? What's 2 squared? What's 4 minus 1? What's 6 over 3? So you could think about that one without doing the store feature. Fine. I don't get it. Okay. Enter, enter. 2 equals 2. Okay. So that's weird that the output ended up being 2. Let's thank George yet again. Okay. Next one. You could probably do your homework now and not listen. I wasn't listening to start with. Anyway, that's what some of my regulars do. Right? Isn't that easy? Okay, cancel. No cancel. Cancel. So this is just 5x equals 7 times x minus 2 plus 10. In one shot, we get this wiped out. 5x equals 7x minus 14. I don't know what else to tell you about not doing what I'm doing right here on questions that we've done before. I mean, when you're getting a common denominator, you get the common denominator, but then you multiply top and bottom by that. That's different than multiplying both sides of an equal sign by the same thing. That's usually where this goes bad, when people go back to adding fractions. Oh no! Did anyone notice something? I get x equals 2. Let's move on. Let's go to the next question. What's wrong with this picture? You plug it in, you get a 0 in the denominator. I'm so excited I can't even speak. And that's a restricted value. X cannot equal 2. So what does that mean for this question? No solution. That's extraneous. Can everyone say extraneous? That's what the word extraneous means. You should not feel guilty about your math. You did good math. But it's just that the question's bogus, and behind the scenes, for whatever reason, the question is not solvable. Probably delve into that question and tell you why, but it's not really that important. All right. Here's how you do this on a test. I factor, and then I understand what the LCD is. What is the LCD? 3, 2, 1, go. 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 2. And then you shove that in each numerator, because you understand whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. I multiply both sides by this. Oh, by the way, we also could have anyone? We could have, because it's fraction equals fraction. So someone asked that in the beginning. Can I cross multiply? No, because you have fraction minus fraction. What you could do is combine these fractions by getting a common denominator and then cross multiply. It's just, I feel, less efficient. And then it can lead to some problems too. So this is really the better way. It really is. Because then all I'm left with is 5 times x plus 2, and that equals, 15 times 2, which is 30, right? That's a tough equation. Okay. Anyway, so 5x plus 10, subtract 10. Oh, no, wait. 5x at 10, subtract 10. Doesn't that 5x equals 20, x equals 4? Is that naughty or not naughty? Solution. Not naughty. 2 and negative 2 are naughty. All right, got it? And then the last one. Well, that's lucky because this ends up being x minus 1, x plus 4, right? So then what does every numerator get? X minus 1. I will write this out when you get, you better watch it though. When you start getting skipping steps and trying to get faster with stuff, then you start making mistakes. But I think you could figure out like who's going to cancel and what's left over. Maybe those that work a little bit faster and pick up things quicker. You'd see, okay, if I have to multiply by this, I know that's going to cancel. So this is going to be left with an x minus 1 next to it. This has an x minus 1, so this is going to have a x plus 4 left over next to it. And then, good golly, that's awesome. That makes it easy. And then you can feel free to watch as I solve from here. Again, the restrictions, just make sure I don't get -4 or 1 for answers. It may happen. 4x squared minus 4x. I find math peaceful. Anyone? Sometimes. I heard someone say that. I feel like this is factorable. I remember this. Yeah, something multiplies to -12 and adds to -1. So, so -1 in the middle, 2, 4. I think I have to leave 4 alone, 4x and 1x, not 2x and 2x, because 4 and 3 differ by 1. So I knew I had to have 4x and 1x, because if I made 4, 2 and 2, 6 and 1, yeah. Wait, 2, yeah. I think let's see. So this would have to be 1 and this would be 3, right? Okay. And then I have 4x and 3x. No, 4x and 3, yeah. So I need this one to be negative, right? Okay. Aren't you amazed by my factoring? Oh no. X equals 1, but that's one of my naughties. So you're gone, so it's only this answer. Are you guys okay over there? Okay. Thanks, George, again. George, you made the movie.